I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you like to do the roll call?
Joseph Britton.
Present.
Rachel Sylvester.
Absent.
Kate Panetta. Here. Gladys Cooper. Here. Richard Janela.
Here.
Patrick Johnson.
Here.
Frederick LaRock.
Here.
David Matrina.
Absent.
Emmanuel Palmer.
Here.
Ralph Pettifest.
Present.
Amy Spinelli.
She's also out.
So out of the 11 board members, we have 3 this time.
Okay. Public participation. Irving Box. Not very good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson Johnston. Members of the board, Dr. Sal. My name is Irving Fox. I reside at 58 Wedgewood Drive in Danbury. I am the past chairman of the Danbury Board of Education, and I previously served as co-president of the King Street PTO, among other positions in the intervening years. And currently, since 2013, I've been a city councilman representing the First Ward, which encompasses the King Street area, and many of the students that attend King Street are my constituents. The reason I'm here this evening is to speak about the sites and facilities meeting that took place on June 12th. I had a chance to look at the minutes and having conversations with some people afterwards. I just wanted to express my concerns about some of the conclusions that were reached, understanding that that meeting may be preliminary and there's a lot of work to go in terms of scoping, studying, and planning. But I would just like to caution the board as they take these things into consideration, the feeling of the community. I think about 8 years ago, before West Side was planned and ultimately built, I think most of you were not here in this room at that time, but I was here. There was a similar idea to float the idea of the King Street Middle School, which is one of the items that are pointed out in the minutes of that meeting. And that was met with a lot of resistance from the community. There was a lot of outrage. I think we had an emergency meeting in Broadview around that time to just assuage some of the concerns that the residents had. There really is not much support in the community for converting King Street into a middle school. But I think working with the city, working with the mayor and others, we could find the right land to get the right school space. Our population is increasing, as we all know, and we need to find room and build more classrooms. So I'm highly supportive of that. But I think we can be doing that without disrupting hundreds of thousands of families by moving West Side over King Street. I don't think that would be the best use of our time, as well as the taxpayer dollars that were already expended to convert West Side into a middle school. So I would just urge the board members to look very closely. I'm sure that's going to happen over the next several months. But to take the residents' concerns as they formulate the plan, so that when a plan comes forward to the public, that it has the appropriate insight. But I also just want to close by thanking everyone for a great school year. The school district does the best job with the funds that it has. And as a parent of 4 children, I am very highly satisfied with my kids' experience in the school system. So we have 1 more year to go. But I just want to thank all the board members for their hard work and all the staff for the hard work that they do to educate our kids. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Fox. And if you have any property that you want to buy, we'll be more than happy to do that. Juan Vasquez.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the board. My name is Juan Vasquez. I am the incoming quartermaster for the Veterans of Foreign Wars in Danbury, Connecticut, Post 149. I'm here to bring forward a writing contest that the BFW has established since 1947. It does have a cash prize and other awards and incentives. So I was advised that the school board needs to approve this writing contest. Now, I apologize in advance. I didn't know there were these many members. I didn't bring enough copies. So if you can please just pass that around. Thank you. Have to grab my cheat sheet.
I don't know.
So the Voice of Democracy, as I stated, has been around since 1947. It's a national contest that over 30,000 students, nearly 40,000, participate on a yearly basis. And as far as the total, over $2 million in scholarships and incentives are provided. And this is a contest that this Danbury has been participated on since I believe the 70s. It's something that used to be done in the community, and our post, for various reasons, stopped managing the process, and myself and other young guys that have come across the post and become members want to bring this back to the community. Now, at the post level, the winner of the written contest, we award $1,000 scholarship if they get sent to the district, which is Fairfield County. And the winner of district and state gets an all-paid trip to Washington, D.C., where they attend the ceremony. They get awarded a portion of the $154,000 in scholarship. And if the person wins number one in D.C., they get a total of $30,000 to go towards their education. So as far as qualifications, is any student in high school enroll in public, private, homeschool. They have to be a lawful U.S. permanent resident. And even if they have a hearing or speech impediment, since they have to provide an audio recording of the essay, they can still qualify and apply. There are just some special instructions. I have the process there. Just wanted to present that to the school board, and hopefully you guys can give me the green light so I can introduce the essay to Danbury High School and Abitech, and hopefully find a liaison there that is willing to advocate for it and promote it. That's it. Any questions, concerns?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Just clarity. Abitech is not under the jurisdiction of.
Oh, it's state, right?
Yeah, just so
Okay.
call Dr. Buckus, I'm sure she'll work with it. This here says an annual patriotic theme. When will you have that? I'm just curious.
Well, it's already out. So they came out in March, though. The theme this year is What Makes America Great.
So they have the theme, that's all.
We have a theme, so everything's all set. The deadline for this year is October 31st, which may be a bit tight. We know we kind of stepped a little bit late on this. So it doesn't give the students a lot of time to write and promote. But if the school or the school district is willing to participate, we're willing to support it 100%. Now, I'm bringing it forward for 2021. You know, that's the one I really want to push.
Yes.
Just ask a quick question. Is it a typed essay and an audio component?
Correct.
Both.
Correct.
I'm not,
No, we can use it.
okay.
Yeah, I usually
So-
try to promote.
So we're just acknowledging that it's done. We don't actually have to pass we don't make a motion on it. We just pass it to you guys.
So if you email me directly.
So there you go. You have the right person right next to you.
Perfect.
All right, and yeah, I'm sure that getting it out would be great. The kids are off for the summer. They can write an essay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to tell my kids that'll be their summer project. Thank you so much. And Tim Seibert. I said that right?
Yes, you did, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is, again, Tim Stiver. I am also a resident of the King Street area. I am also a former PTO president. I served after Irving Fox for 5 years. I also serve in the community in the sense that I coach baseball, basketball, soccer. I'm also a member of the Rotary Club, and I support many of the community functions, and I have done so for years. I'm here representing most of those behind me who all live in the King Street area, in this section here, and they said, most of them said I could speak on their behalf, but we're all pretty concerned about the agenda that we saw, where there was going to be some drastic changes possibly to the King Street campus. Most of those behind me also serve in the community, sacrifice much for this community, and we believe that the King Street School campus is just a wonderful place for us to raise our children, for our children to go to school. We have a very close-knit relationship with the teachers in that school, with the leadership in that school, and we just don't want to see that tarnished at all. So when I read that this proposal came about, I thought to myself, how in the world did it get to this? I mean, the city already buses a very large segment of the downtown population up to our school, and we sacrifice our personal time to do everything we can to support the students who support the children. So I don't understand why I feel like much of this is going to be dumped on our shoulders even furthermore. And it wasn't so long ago when Amphenol had a piece of property in downtown Danbury, which very easily could have been converted to a school that could have had those children attend, which is the neighborhoods many of whom live in. So I just don't understand when this city has opportunities for real estate or what have you to open up, why are they not taking advantage of it when we've had this problem for many years? So that's my concern. Of course, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Does all that's on the list, is there anyone else who would like to speak that was not on the list? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Moving on to the consent calendar.
I would like to make a motion that the Board of Education approves the items on the consent calendar, Exhibit 19 through 101 through 19-103, as recommended.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Karat. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Okay, and we have, we don't have any employee representative, but we have student representative.
We're the former Board of Governors student representatives, and we're here to introduce the new Board of Governors student representatives. But before we do that, we thought you'd like to know a little bit about what our future plans are.
Yes, we do.
I will be attending North Carolina State University as an undecided major.
Nice.
I'll be attending Emerson College in Boston as a writing, literature, and publishing major. And I'll be attending UConn in stores for a bio major. And we just wanted to thank you guys for such an amazing year. It was really successful, and we're excited for what our new representatives have to bring. So they're gonna do their little spiel. So,
Thank you. Congratulations.
So hi, we are the new BOD officers for 2019-2020. I'm Larissa Casa, and I am the BOD president.
I'm Tamara, and I'm the BOD vice president.
I am Jay Goodman, and I'm the BOD secretary.
Unfortunately, our BOG treasurer, Rebecca DeCilio, isn't here due to traveling, but she's here too. Before we begin, I would just like to say it's an honor to be here with you all tonight and be a part of such an important aspect of our daily lives and of our fellow students. I would also like to thank you all for working so hard to okay. Not only make our lives, make our futures bright, but also the futures of many of other students in our school system. With that being said, here are some announcements about the end of the school year at
So some school-wide events. Senior prom with the unique theme of ice ball took place on May 24th.
Is your mic on?
Might just if you push the
I
lock
heard
button.
about that. Please.
That's not here. Yep. No, you got it.
Press that.
All right, go one last time.
Yep, you got it. You got it.
Okay. Some school-wide events. Senior prom with the unique theme of ice ball took place on May 24th at the Amber Room with hundreds in attendance. It was a fantastic time for all who came. Seniors Gabby Destilio and Montez Osby were awarded at the 2019 Scholar Leader Dinner on May 28th, hosted by the Fairfield County Association of Secondary School Principals. Congratulations to the two of them. A recognition ceremony for the 19 students who completed the 2018-2019 AP Spanish Independent Study Program for English learners was held the first week of June in the Black Box Theater. A big thank you to teacher Soraya Galveo for steering students towards this accomplishment. The senior barbecue took place June 14th and was a big hit. And finally, the class of 2019 has graduated. Despite less than ideal weather, graduation took place last Wednesday the 19th. Including ACE, near 700 students graduated.
Here's some of the club news. The NHS spring induction ceremony took place Thursday, May 23rd. On the 28th of May, the Science National Honor Society members received their certificates of membership. And on June 11th, the ceremony took place in which 60 students involved in the CNA program received their CNA pins.
For sports, Alana Smith, a freshman on the girls' track and field team, was the 400-meter New England champion. Her score of 55.49 seconds is an FCX record and Thornton Academy facility record. She also won the state LL championship titles in the 100-meter, 200-meter, and as stated before, the 400-meter in early June. Emily Bogus and Shannon Quinn, DHS seniors, were selected to the CHCA All-Star Softball Game in Meriden, Connecticut on June 12th. Both Emily and Shannon also earned an All-FCX honor this spring and helped them lead the Hatters to a 13-7 record. FCX playoffs and CIAC second round. Congratulations. And also congratulations to Javon Hernandez for making the 2019 Class LL Connecticut All-State Baseball team voted on and selected by the Connecticut High School Coaches Association. And the girls outdoor track won Connecticut Team of the Year. They were the third team to be named a CHSCA Connecticut Team of the Year, joining our girls cross country and wrestling teams as the best team of their sport in CT this year. Thank you.
Impressions of graduation that was short. The seniors.
Perfect.
Short speeches, right?
Yeah, good.
It was good.
Very good.
Felt like 20 minutes.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to embarrass a few of you, actually all three of you. I think that there's classes and there's different people and you see come and go, but I know that all three of you young ladies, not only have we left an impression on you through your experience in every time, but you have left one on us. The amount of awards you have received and the things you have done, it was noticeable. I do have to especially highlight Gabby for your amazing performance at Gospel.
Thank you.
That touched so literally thousands of people in our city. You were an amazing Jesus, and we are so thankful for what you gave out of yourself those 3 days. And I'm going to forever remember that play, and I just want you to know that. So good luck to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. briefly, so we're just going to do board reports, communications, and comments now before we go through our long list of action items. So,
I just want to, typically we don't comment on public participation, but it's the last meeting, so why not? So just, I'm chairperson of the Sites and Facilities Committee. So just kind of how the process works is every year on the board for 4 years, year off, back on again. Every year we put studies out and we request that the city conducts a study on different sites. We hired an architect to do that for just the rapid growth. I do agree with you. There is some real estate that comes up, which I'm kind of disappointed. Earl Fleck, I'll shoot him a text, but he's on the city council. They're the ones who would buy the real estate or rental and stuff like that. So I do know your concerns because I was just elected when we did the whole district thing at King Street, and that caused a lot of a big situation there. So we're not trying to obviously tarnish, I really don't like that word, but not trying to tarnish anything. Just that every year we have to address the growth. And these are just, there's no conclusions made. These are just studies that we say, hey look, take a drive around, survey it, and then what we do as a sites and facilities is kick it back to the city. So the city will go and say, can it be done? Is there money for it to be done? Are we gonna ask for the money? What real estate's out there? So, and at the process, when we get past that process, then obviously we take into consideration the community. The community put out there, we have forums, we get public opinions and stuff like that. So just, I know you saw it in the minutes, and that's just a committee meeting, and there's different layers to that and a different process to that. So just to let you guys know, there's no conclusions have been drawn, and we take everything into consideration. And don't forget, we do have 11,000 kids in this district, and we do, have to take everyone into consideration, when we're making these decisions. So I do hear your concern, and just to let you guys know, since this last meeting, nothing will probably be done till, next year in surveys and stuff. So, there's no conclusions. So the two words I didn't like was conclusion and tarnish. That's not our intention. And conclusions we have to make it.
Thank you. Ms. Palmer.
Sure. I'm going to piggyback on what Board Member Teresa said and just ask all of you as representatives of the King Street community to also be a little more mindful of the overall work that we're trying to do in the district, especially this year. If you look back at our minutes, we've been going through a very important process of reassessing our mission and looking at equity in our district and looking at it from a holistic approach. So although I understand your concerns for your community and the culture of your community, because everyone has culture, right? And there's a certain culture of living in the King Street area that you're trying to preserve. And what I'm hearing is that you feel that may be in jeopardy if this were to be a project that will move forward. But at the same time, there's this overall culture of diversity in Danbury that needs to be embraced in every area, because that's where our growth is. So the Danbury of 20, 30 years ago has changed. And I'm going to guess that it's more of a question of trying to find the right words to express it. But as someone who's a member of the immigrant community, what I heard was that the incoming of downtown children would tarnish something about that culture. And I think that is not in alignment with the work that we're trying to do. We have to look at the district holistically. We have, in that way, would be taking in your concerns, caring about the culture you're trying to preserve, but understanding that times have changed and we're growing. And I need parents like you who are here tonight to also advocate in the right places, such as City Hall, and really question some of the decisions that are being made on the real estate side to forecast some of that growth. But when we talk here, we have parents who are not physically here, but we're hearing YouTube, that are of these different cultures or live downtown, as you're trying to advocate for what you want, and you're very right to do that. Because like I said, respect needs to be mutual, and everyone has culture. Culture doesn't only come from another foreign country, it comes from a community that you build. Your culture has to be respected, your culture has to be respected, and we're here as a community whether I live in downtown Danbury, which I do, or friends that live in King Street, you're one of mine. We need to work together so that we can both feel respected and a part of a whole. So trust that we're trying to do everything that we can to follow our mission, which will be one of focusing on equity. And I would encourage you to look at the minutes of some of that work that we're doing, because that can really help you in some of the conversations, even in your school, with these families that are coming in. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any comments? Okay.
I'm sorry. Can I respond to that?
No. Well, I mean, you made a comment, and we actually opened it up just to make a little bit of a response back, but we can't get into a dialogue. It's just not the way it's handled under our system. We will have more meetings coming up, and we can have a discussion, but I think the real reason for that was just to let everyone know that nothing's been done. This is just another outlook into seeing where we can expand, and we didn't want you to leave without knowing that we're not doing anything yet. We're just taking a look to see.
But now I'm going to leave feeling like I've been misinterpreted.
Because he did ask if anyone had any questions, and that's when he opened it up, and no one spoke out.
Yeah, but typically in public participation, we don't address it. We figured that since it is the last meeting, that we would, make a comment, because the year's over, we won't meet again until next year.
Till September.
Yeah, we didn't want, you guys took the time to come out, and we appreciate that. We didn't want you to leave, just making a statement, us just saying, we'll see you in September. That's the only reason why we did it. I mean, I can give you my personal email, my school email, or we could talk more on it. Like I said, I didn't want you guys to come down, express yourself, and then leave without getting some kind of closure on it. That's all.
Mr. Pettifus had actually asked me, said he would catch you after, but we're going to have a executive session, so everybody's going to have to leave. So you would have left before he got a chance to actually address you personally. If you'd like to wait until after you can catch up me or anybody else if you would like to do that after the fact. Okay, thank you so much. Also, while we're doing that, we have while we're on comments and whatnot, we are, unfortunately for us and fortunately for Mr. Martino, he's going to be leaving our group, and so we wanted to note that for him and give him Mr. Gianelli. Wanted to make sure that we all got together and got you a card, and we're so sorry to see you go. Could you pass that down to Joe? And thank you so much for everything that you've done for us here, and we are going to miss you a lot.
Joe, before you go, I just, a number of times during the past 8 years, I keep saying that we didn't get the things done that we're getting done. It wasn't for you. And I mean that the board knows how difficult it is to find resources. We managed to find it. And we were focused on what was best for our kids. And we made sure that they were put first, and we did it each time. And we'll miss you greatly. One as a friend and also as a colleague. We brought a lot to this district. We wish you well. You will come back. It's possible, right? You never know. You never know nowadays. You're a good man, and we will miss you tremendously.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Leaving this district was not an easy decision. It was something that I made a lot of decisions on many levels. Long talks to my family about what to do next, my next steps. So. As said Dr. Sal, I came to this district as a young, complicated 33-year-old, left a couple years older than that. No, thank you. Your support at the board level has been much appreciated. We've been through some complicated times redistricting. We've been through a lot of things together, construction projects, portables, all those things. But you guys always supported some ideas I had, propane buses, the leases, all those things. So I do appreciate that. As I said to Dr. Sal already, when you leave the private sector, you kind of just leave and you're gone. But I said to him, I will definitely stay on and transition as long as needed. The budget is complicated; it's not easy. There's 1,000 moving parts at least, to say the least. So So I do, but definitely it's not an easy choice to begin with, that's for sure. So thank you for your support, thank you, everyone's wonderful.
So much, Joe. Thank you, Mr. Chinelli, for putting that.
I know, Mike.
And wear those pants all the time. Okay, so thank you very much. So moving on, we have action items.
Action item A, that the Board of Education approve and set the school district budget in the amount of $134,986,000, 2.8% for the fiscal year 2019 through 2020.
Seconded by Mr. Karat, 2.08%. Seconded by Mr. Karat. Any discussion?
That was presented in finance, the reductions. Any board members weren't at the meeting, I sent out a copy, I think everyone's there though, so we're good. As we presented with the reductions. And as Dr. Sal indicated, there's some headwinds, some challenges facing the district going forward, additional costs, working with the city as far as allocation for additional funds next year, the possibility to deal with some of our tuition costs and just additional challenges the district's going to face even above the allocation.
You know, Joe, I think it was important in speaking to the mayor that he recognized the deficit that we probably will be in, given what's in front of us, and his commitment to $500,000 to $600,000 over and above the allocation is going to be a tremendous resource. How we deal with it next year, because that will be part of our new budget. But this budget, as we talked about in the meeting, it's about what we're not doing for kids that we should be doing.
Sure.
And I worry about that. We put in some FTE increases at the high school. We had 500 anticipated this year. There's 2 more next year, along with the bilingual and special needs student teachers. But we may have added teachers to add at the elementary, and we don't have any encumbered. We only have 2 encumbered. We have some busing issues. The board may hear folks come to this board meeting and complain about not being picked up. We know that. We'll follow whatever law we have to regarding where students can walk and not walk. Just be prepared for that. Certainly, we won't put anybody in harm's way. We'll pick up youngsters we have to. Joe has worked with neighboring districts, the satellite to sending schools. There's also satellite with the new magnet school up Boag. We've done things that we can, and still I worry greatly about where we're going to be. And the mayor's commitment is really important to us. If we were going forward with a budget now, it wouldn't have been 7.9. It would have been about $8.5, $8.6 million request. Folks think we got 5.2, that we got over and above what we needed. We're not. The state's helped us. The city has given us our allocation. We have money from, I call it Preserve, for $500,000 or thereabouts. That's possibly part of our allocation. We'll know more about that in January. Is that correct?
Correct. The additional matrix funding will come to the board as well as anything else that's to be allocated.
So although the budget's 0 right now, you know, like Joe says, we can freeze July 1st and still have to work.
In my 8 years here, you've always added above any FT numbers I put before this board in September. If it was, you know, if we projected 2, we always wanted an additional. To keep class size, you know, again, not low, 25, 26. King Street Intermediate, as an example, right now has 8 4th grades, and if we don't add the 9th, which we're going to program in, that will be up 27 across in that 4th grade. So you have to run 8 sections of 27. If we try and we go to 9 across, which we do think we're going to do, they'll put them still high, but you'll be 24, 25. Again, still a high number, but you know, at least it's manageable at that.
And quite obviously, at the rate that our population is increasing, another 200 or 250 kids requires 10 more teachers. So
not only that, even if we had the money, you would have space to put it.
that's exactly right. We are in the perfect storm.
I met with bus company today already. We're beginning to tabulate runs and routes. We do see overcrowding already in high school runs. We program in our Henry Abbott Tech run, which the board is responsible for running. There's 2 buses that service that. Those are getting very strained in those runs. We've been talking about an extra bus there. I will say from the transportation side, STA is trying to consolidate runs. They're looking at some preschool runs. I mean, you know, that is one group that is definitely, their goal is actually reduce number of buses, although we keep adding them for growth. They would love to service 10 less when we could. Lastly, piece of history. On my wall is the run sheet when I got here for buses. We ran 65 full-size, what are called Type 1 buses. Today, there's 85 buses that service the city of Danbury. So in 8 years, you've got 20 full-size. Many towns have been done.
65,000 apiece.
$65,000 a piece. The west side added buses in some of those additions, but we're up 20 full-size buses. It's not addition, the state of Connecticut added 20 full-size buses.
We are in incredible.
Thanks to their propane, we're saving money.
Thank God, thank God they're propane. Yes, we have to say that.
It's also only going up by 10% instead of.
The greenhouse emissions are down.
Mr. Janelli.
I wanted to first thank Irving Fox, who's not here, for the recognition that he gave to us for essentially using the phrase, I'm going to paraphrase something he didn't say, is doing more with less. Okay? Historically, that's always been the theme for us. But as I said today during the finance meeting, we can no longer do that. I've been on board 12 years and pretty much chair of the finance committee for that period of time. This is the worst financial budget I have ever seen. We have no wiggle room. This community has to stand behind Board of Education, understand what our needs are, and help us advocate for more funding. I don't really care where we get the funding from, whether it be a combination from the city or the state, but we are not doing our children the justice that's deserved with the challenges that we have. We've got a high school that's bulging, we've got a population that's increasing, we have lack of space, and we have no wiggle room in the budget for next year. As I said, the budget this year, the superintendent's budget was about $7.8 million. It could have been $8 million, $8.5 million, and that doesn't put us ahead. That's a maintenance budget. That's not doing anything to create new programs to get us in 21st century type stuff. That's just basically maintenance stuff. And all we've been doing is cutting and cutting and cutting. You cannot cut anymore. So my feeling is that we have to wake up. The city has to wake up. We've got to join together as a community. The Board of Ed has to do a better job in making this community understand why we need the funding. There's a reason why we need funding, just not going to somebody and say we need more money. We can justify in dollars and cents the areas we need the money and why we need the money, but we need your support behind it. I just want to make that for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Janelli. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Action item B.
Action item B. I'd like to recommend that the operating results analysis general fund grants project, that the Board of Education accept the 2019 operating results analysis general fund grants project in accordance with Exhibit 19-104.
Seconded by Mr. Britton. Any discussion?
Yeah. We have, this is May's financials before you, which are fine. June we're coming through right now. To continue what I've said to you before, and folks know this is a theme since kind of coming out of that April, March or April numbers on our health insurance claims. This has been a very tight year for the board. It's the tightest I've closed these books in 8 years. Kudos to business office folks. We've been combing through POs, canceling stuff down, because obviously, you know, we need to get to zero. So we're trying to do that, allocate funds where we need to. But I will update the board further. We get closer to actual real closing, probably I think mid-July, just to let folks know where we are. I do think we're going to be in the black. Words I've never had to say in 8 years. We're going to be in the black. That was kind of never a question in my mind. We always had it. Not a huge surplus. We always had some. So this year it's been very tight. You know, with some of the costs we've seen in special ed and substitutes, health claims. I keep saying April claims were $800,000 compared to last April. So I mean, you can't take a hit like that And if I'm sitting in front of a surplus and I took a hit like that, we really got way too much extra money to the side. So it's a tight year. I'm going to update the board further by talking to the city, mayor. We've had any conversation with the mayor on where we are. We're going to get to 0, but getting to 0 is not.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The motion carries. I'd like to entertain a motion to table C, the technology lease. You can make a motion and then you can. Let's make a motion to table it.
I'll make a motion to table item C, technology lease.
Seconded by Mr. Petrofisa. Any discussion?
What's the purpose of tabling it, just out of curiosity?
The lease as of this moment has set financial borrowing requirements. There's a calculation on it. You have approved by the city council, but I would feel best served to bring this back towards the board once we're actually going to release the funding. It's a simple task. It only requires the board vote to take action on it. Council's already approved the funding, the allocation. So again, we may modify this lease to $750, might drop to $450,000 as you get later into your cycle. So I would just feel better if the folks tabled it when finance will be reassessed. Because also rates have changed now. There's rumors about Federal Reserve cuts and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I think we should table it for now and then bring it back. It's a simple vote, but I'll come back to that.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion to table carries.
Action item D, that the Board of Education approve the increase in school lunch prices for 2019-2020 in accordance with 19-106.
Seconded by Mr. Karat. Any discussion?
Mandatory increases by the state in order to get funding. This only impacts 3 schools that will still be on a paid program. But again, we still have to abide by the USDA guidelines for the calculation.
Just as a reminder, Joe, just Emmanuel pointed out the districts has changed. How many schools are going to have all on 100% free and reduced lunch?
I asked you a question, I don't know. I believe it's 60. The only schools that aren't are the high school, West Side Academy, and AIS. And I would tell the board, I think there's a possibility the high school will get picked up next year. We're a little just concerned about the impact of the program overall.
So that means 100% are
100% will now be free, and it says free in those going for breakfast and lunch. This will also alleviate the board's issue with negative balances. This year, as part of the board's budget, we have to actually pay down $85,000 in lunch debt that's written on. So it's being non-collectible. We've gone to collection agencies multiple times and multiple levels to no avail. So the board has to make good on those.
and that money's not permitted to come out of the
Cannot come out of the program, has to come out of the general fund. The good news is going forward, it's all very small. The high school has the ability to collect because typically they will withhold prom tickets, or I mean, there's different, where the elementary school don't have as many things they withhold from the kid. We don't want to negatively penalize the kid for that, but at least the high school, like library books, art, that kind of stuff, there's a little bit to kind of, money collection high school is typically, so elementary, not so much.
Mr. John.
Joseph, what criteria is used to determine school for free reduced lunch?
40% directly certified, so that means through a program, what's called SNAP, Husky, and another social program that when a kid arrives on our doorstep, they're already deemed free by a state agency. So in a sense, it is a higher threshold of poverty than just applying for income. Income applications, you can make claims, my current income is, $100, and I make a claim for that. But directly certified kids are certified when they get to our doorstep. So it's a higher threshold for poverty.
So what you're saying is that the district in total is deemed to be high poverty level.
Correct. You have a higher poverty. When I got here, your free and reduced lunch number was about 45%. You're at 66. Directly certified schools, there was one that kind of qualified, not really, just made the criteria. And as of today, you now have virtually almost all your schools now qualify for directly certified.
15 out of 18 schools
Correct.
qualify. Possibly
Yeah.
16 next year. Thank you.
Changing.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
Action item E, that the Board of Education approve the tuition rate for 2020 and in accordance with Exhibit 19-107.
Seconded by Ms. Canetta. Any discussion?
Just for the board's information, sorry to talk, but this is a rate that gets set if you have for example, a tuition student is placed there from another district. This would be a rate I would charge that district plus any additional special education costs. Also, obviously, if we have a parent outside the district wanting to send a child here, which I think we've had maybe one in my tenure here, but this is really more for reimbursement against the neighborhood district.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
Action item F, that the Board of Education approve the following projects out of the general fund in accordance with Exhibit 19-108.
Seconded by Mr. Petrofissa. Do we have any discussion?
These are items that are now approved to go for a rental. We have to identify funding out of the rental account. The list, obviously, what's before you is not all sitting inside the rental fund at this moment. We'll begin to whack away these programs as we go. The first one, obviously, would be to move forward with the Pembroke Playground, to fund that for the ADA issues that the facilities committee did cite. And then we'll then begin to go through the stage curves and the items.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to table.
Yeah, we're going to make, Mr. Kratz making a motion to table.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to table action item G, that the Board of Education accept the first reading academic policy as recommended by the policy committee.
Seconded by Ms. Palmaris. Any discussion?
Yes, I just want to apologize to Kevin and the rest of the administration. We weren't able to put out together a forum in order to have our policy committee meeting in order to review and recommend the equity policy. So hopefully we'll be able to get that done in the near future, but I just want to apologize for not being able to get that accomplished.
I would think that we could probably move something forward in the first meeting or two in September, do something right before it. You really only asked for about a 30-minute commitment to get that done, so I don't see any reason why, maybe not the first meeting, but no later than the second meeting in September. So I'll try and work with that to get that scheduled, and you and I can talk, and we'll get that hammered out so we can have it done before the end of the first month. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion table carries.
Action item H, that the Board of Education approve the teacher evaluation plan in accordance with Exhibit 19-109.
A second.
Seconded by Mr. Karat. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
Action item I, that the Board of Education approve the revised board meeting dates for 2019-2020, Thursday, October the 10th, through to Yom Kippur, in accordance with Exhibit 19-110.
Seconded by Ms. Canetta. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. We have some motions to amend the agenda. Mr. Ginelli is going to take care of.
That the Board of Education amend the June 26, 2019 board agenda to add an action item for approval of the grant application for the Family Resource Center at Hollis Street.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Karat. Do we have any discussion regarding the action item motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That motion carries. Yep, so that carries. We can go to the next one.
That the Board of Education approve the submission of the application package to the State Department of Education for the renewal of the Family Resource Center program at Morris Street School, July 1st, 2019 through, June 30th, 2021.
Seconded by Mr. Petrofessa. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Very nice. Moving to the superintendent's report.
let me go to B first, because I was just asking Donna to get my graduates. The graduation update, we had 641 graduates, and when you put them all together, it was 670 to reach and Mason this year. As you heard the young ladies, we got through it pretty quickly. What really amazed me, is I've been to a number of graduations. The ones I've been here in Danbury have been model graduations. No disruptions, a lot of respect on part of the youngsters for the speakers and for the whole process. We've got a lot to be proud of our youngsters. It's well attended. The rain kind of held off, it was coming down a little bit, but I think overall, it went over pretty well. We had that one little window, and we got through it, so. I'm just awed by the students and the way the respect they pay to the whole process of graduation, how seriously they take it. We're very fortunate. I'm proud of the parents for supporting it. I'll go to A last. Summer school, any update on summer school?
So I do have some numbers for the board and the community regarding summer school. One, we have close to 600 students in our early childhood programs. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Need. I think she's still in the back there. We have new summer school elementary director, Matt Calvinese from BAS. Summer school for elementary school will be starting July 8th to August 1st. The instructional hours from 8:30 to 11:30. Staff will be there from 8 to 12. Breakfast and lunch will be available as well. 4 sites for summer school are Ellsworth, King Street Primary, Millridge Primary, and Park. We have to date 617 students enrolled in K-5 elementary school. And then our secondary program is headed by Vicki Carlson, guidance counselor at the high school. As of right now, we have 3 major programs going. One for middle school. This will be held at Broadway Middle School. All of our secondary programming will take place at Broadway this summer. Summer school starts July 1st and it extends through August 1st. Classes will be Monday through Thursday this year, so that's an adjustment from previous years where it's Monday through Friday. Classes will go from 8 to 2:30 every day. Next week, our accelerated program will start with geometry students for the high school. We currently have 18 students on board. Middle school program will start on Monday and Tuesday, July 1st and 2nd. We'll have registration for our regular high school program, and that registration will be from 9 to 1 on both days. Middle school programming will start on July 8th, and Broadview Middle School will be jumping this summer with excitement because it will be full with programming. I think Kelly had also one update regarding special ed programming as well.
Special Ed Summer School will run a 5-week program. We'll start on July 1st and run through August 1st. We're fully up in staff. We'll be meeting for our pre-opening day with our staff, about 200 staff members, tomorrow morning, bright and early. And we will receive about 330 special education students within the program. And we are excited to have them. They range from 3 to 21, and we will be at the magnet school once again.
Joe, summer projects?
Summer projects are short. I had a bunch of stuff written on the wall with Mr. Galvin and I are working through. Right now, the main project is the abatement of the high school floor tile. The contractor's already on site, already working through. They're tenting up, so that's moving ahead quickly. We also get a waiver from the state. We can actually keep a chunk of the building open because the good news, the way the high school is constructed, it's all since different buildings. We got the okay from them as long as we put up plastic. We keep the kids in the gym because there's no connected HVAC or anything like that, so there's no risk to anything in that building, for example. Short of that, obviously it's on the rental fund. We're going to start to work through that. Some of the school security stuff we're going to begin as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I do not see a long list of summer projects because we do need to get up the west side and deal with a space issue up there with the guidance counselor's office and split that. But there are, the summer list used to be a mile long, now it's about 2.
So, we go to the high school with the damage?
Yeah, the flooring is being replaced on 2 floors. That's C3 and C4. which will look beautiful. We picked out new floor tile, kind of little pattern colors, Mr. Donovan, and was up there working on that. So you see that moving ahead, which should be great.
The insurance cover?
Yeah, insurance covered the whole plan as well. And the city actually did make good on a transfer back to us of $97,000 to cover the deductible. We had, it was board dollars, but in reality, by audit rule, we had to give it back. It was year-end money, we closed out at $97,000. And we talked to Mr. St. Clair and the mayor, and they're gonna send that money back to us to cover the deductible.
Is it in the mail?
It's actually already on the board side of the budget.
right.
So.
That's out of $100,000 deductible.
Yeah, so we had to cover $3,000, which is very reasonable.
It seems like a percentage should always be there around there.
Anything else on summer projects? So, with Joe leaving, we're gonna have to recruit a finance director. Joe's gonna be with us until, was it December 5th? Was it October?
I can't really work nights, it's not going to work.
So, we posted the position.
I applied.
You applied. Got it.
Not gonna make it.
Kim, we posted the position.
We can, as of right now, there are 4 applicants. It's only been up for about a day and a half. So we'll leave it open for a little while. We're going to have some headwinds from some other districts, some larger and more affluent than ours that are also looking for finance directors. So we posted it as a full position with the opportunity maybe for an interim to give us as many options as possible. But we will hopefully get some more applicants in the next couple of weeks that'll allow us to do this reading.
So just review the process for the board. Because
Well, maybe it might make sense to wait a little bit. Depends on whether we're doing an interim or a full position.
Well, explain
whether
the
we do panels or.
regular process.
As a cabinet member, then that position would be subject to the multiple panels that we always use with administrators in the district. So the 2-panel process, you'll have a board representative on each panel, and we'll run exactly as we've done with the
Got it.
interim is abbreviated, so.
Thank God I get into the whole process.
You wouldn't make
so
it
we
now,
don't
you'd
make
never get it. Yeah.
Graphic payments are up.
So,
Thank you so much. All right, and it looks like, yes, Mr. Janelle.
I just want to make one comment on the graduation. I think this year, to me, would be a memorable, outstanding year when I saw that. So the first name is Joanne, last name is Kaiser. After 65 years, she is the endowment said that she had to leave high school 3-4 months prior to the graduation. And after 60-some odd years of that, she came back to Danbury High to get a degree. I think that takes determination, fantastic. Somewhere at the age of that being about 80 years old. So that to me makes a memorable experience in the graduation this year.
and for me, it was my kindergarten graduation.
Right.
When I came there in kindergarten.
Oh, I got 8.
And board chairman's report, I don't have anything except to say have a great summer. To reiterate what Dr. Sal said, the graduation was tremendous. As always, it is goes off like clockwork. The kids were tremendous. And despite the sporadic rain, went off without a hitch. I don't know what our time was. Usually was it like 132 or something? Somewhere under 140, an hour and 45 to get 670 students. That is just amazing. And one degree for somebody who waited 65 years. So that was excellent. And once again, sorry to see Joe go, but wishing all the best of luck. And I hope everybody has a great summer. And does anybody else, since we kind of did the communications earlier?
Mr. Chairman, I'll be very quick. As I was listening to the remarks tonight, and I would hope that we begin to look at people as an inclusive. Danbury is a very inclusive community here. And I know that we don't like to interrupt certain things, and we could talk about why we didn't place the kids down in the, when I came to Danbury, it was the old Grand Way. And I think that was, there were reasons why the system looked at placing the kids. And for us to use the terminology, those kids. We are an inclusive community here in Danbury. I will not refer to anyone else's child as those kids, no matter who they are. And I think we have to start looking at people as people and what they bring to you as an individual, or how you see them as individual. And I just wanted to say that. And sometimes my tongue might slip, but I try my best not to use that type of phrase. But you know, I think that we are here with a leader, and when it comes to informing the community of things and changes that we have to do, and we can talk about redistricting. I've been here, I sit here on this board 28 years, okay? And I think we've always tried to do what we feel like is best for all the children here in Danbury. And I just wanted to say, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cooper. That's it. All right, I would like to entertain a motion to enter executive session.
So much.
Motion by Ms. Canada, seconded by Mr. Janelli. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming, and have a great summer.